Imagine explaining to your commanding officer that you just lost a war to a bird that can't even fly. In 1932, that's exactly what happened to the Australian military in what would become known as the Great Emu War. And yes, it's completely real. After World War I, the Australian government encouraged veterans to take up farming in Western Australia. They promised prosperity and stability. But by 1932, these farmers faced a nightmare. 20,000 emus had migrated inland after breeding season, and they were absolutely destroying the wheat crops that farmers desperately needed to survive the Great Depression. These weren't ordinary pests. Emus stand 6 feet tall, can run at 30 miles per hour, and travel in massive coordinated groups. The farmers tried everything: fences, traps, hunting parties. Nothing worked. The emus just kept coming, trampling crops and destroying livelihoods. In desperation, the farmers did something unprecedented. They petitioned the government to send in the military. In November 1932, the Australian government actually said yes. They deployed soldiers armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The military brass saw this as a perfect opportunity: live target practice and a chance to help struggling farmers. Major GPW Meredith led the operation. How hard could it be to defeat a bunch of birds? Incredibly hard, it turned out. The first engagement was a disaster. The soldiers spotted a group of about 50 emus and opened fire. The birds immediately scattered in all directions, moving in unpredictable zigzag patterns. Only a handful were killed. The emus had somehow employed guerrilla warfare tactics. They broke into smaller groups, making them nearly impossible to target effectively. The military tried different strategies. They attempted ambushes. They tried herding the emus into kill zones. They even mounted a machine gun on a truck to chase them down, but the terrain was too rough and the emus too fast. After one particularly embarrassing attempt, the truck couldn't keep up, and the gunner couldn't get a clear shot while bouncing across the outback. The emus were outmaneuvering trained soldiers. After 6 days of combat, the military had fired thousands of rounds, but killed fewer than 50 emus. The newspapers got wind of the story and absolutely savaged the military. One ornithologist later commented that the emus had won every tactical advantage, noting that each emu seemed to have appointed itself a commander. Parliament members sarcastically suggested that the emus be given medals since they'd clearly won every battle. Major Meredith withdrew his forces in retreat. The military briefly returned in December with different tactics, managing to kill about 100 more emus before ammunition supplies ran low. But with 20,000 emus in the region, it was utterly pointless. The operation was officially abandoned. The Australian military had lost a war to flightless birds. The aftermath was fascinating. The military refused any further involvement with emu population control, citing it as a waste of resources. Instead, the government eventually implemented a bounty system, which actually worked better. Local farmers killed over 50,000 emus over the next few years. Turned out, motivated locals with rifles were more effective than organized military operations. Today, the Great Emu War remains one of history's most bizarre military operations. It's taught in some military academies as a lesson in asymmetric warfare and knowing when conventional tactics won't work. The emus, for their part, continue to thrive across Australia, blissfully unaware they're the only animal to have ever defeated a modern military force. So here's the question that still puzzles historians. What does it say about human warfare when our advanced weapons and tactics can be defeated by the evolutionary survival instincts of birds? Maybe the emus understood something about warfare that we'd forgotten. That survival isn't about firepower, it's about adaptation.